There are two things that are really important about young offenders. One is to remember that they're young people and that they're growing up, and they'll be growing up while they're in jail. And the second is that if we don't reduce the number of children and young people who go to prison, we will ensure that we have the largest adult prison population that any country could ever imagine happening, because we're growing our adult prisoners.
If we were really determined to reduce crime and protect future victims, I honestly believe we would send fewer young people to custody.
We have a media that is obsessed with crime as a political issue. We have politicians who in the past 20 years have exploited criminal justice issues for votes. And between the two of them, they've managed to give an entirely misleading impression to the public, not only about what the state of the criminal justice system is, but also about what works, about what would reduce crime more.
And why are we misleading the public? Is it because we want people to be afraid? Last year we had around 94,000 children entering the youth justice system for the first time. It's an extraordinary number of children. Many of them will have ended up in trouble, and instead of getting the help or the treatment they need, they find themselves as part of the youth justice system, which is an easy pathway to the adult justice system.
We spend a lot of money locking people up in prison, and yet we have a success rate of, say, around 30%. You know, a school that only gets 30% of its pupils with 5 or more A to C GCSEs is branded as a failing school.
That rate is far worse for particular sorts of offender and particular sorts of prison sentence. So if you look at young men who are sent to prison for short terms, under a year, then the failure rate can get as high as 90%. And it seems to me that this is an extraordinarily expensive way of failing to reduce crime.
We wouldn't take a lot of people who were ill, put them into a hospital building, give them no treatment and expect them to get better. We take lots of prisoners, we put them in a prison building, we give them no treatment and we expect them to get better. Why?